It's LaDonna Ray.
How you doing?
I'm doing swell-tastic. What can I say?
Man, listen, I'm just glad I can say anything.
I know your voice. It was so well. It wasn't funny because one of the things that you worry about being on air is your voice.
Yes.
That's like your money maker. And if you can't talk, well, what good are you?
Right.
You
So
know
I
what I'm
stayed,
saying?
thus, I stayed home.
You stayed home.
I
and
still got it. I'm at about 75%, so I'm not 100% yet.
Okay, but you sound a lot better.
Yeah, a lot better. And I certainly feel even better than I sound. I
Yeah.
feel great.
Yeah.
All I need right now is a good taco. And I would
Uh-oh.
be I would really be into something.
Hint, hint.
Right.
So if
Amen.
you have a taco stand out there or a restaurant, call our sales department. And we'll
Please.
put you on.
Please.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah, we're good. We're on.
Can you? Oh, I guess I can
Oh,
add myself. huh?
yeah.
All right, let me do
If
that.
it's ready to go, I got it.
There you go. I already did it.
Oh,
Guys, we're talking about Facebook Live. If you guys are on Facebook Live, be sure to share the show. Okay, that didn't come out right. And we love it when you do so because that allows for other people to see and experience what we are talking about and the interaction that we have in studio.
absolutely. Last week, by the way, the views were just really strong for all the shows, but definitely for the afternoon show. Did you get a chance to look at the numbers yet?
I have looked at the numbers and they look good, especially on election night.
Yes.
That was
yes,
amazing.
Yes.
But I'm really proud of our listeners just being involved and being present. What do you think was different last week other than the election? Do you think that we touched on some topics? Do you think it was just a good week? What do you think the formula was?
Man, I mean, we did our best to make sure that we talked about the things that were important to you guys. The conversation about Mayor Johnson being called racist because he supported more black firefighters. I mean, that was one of the hottest stories of the week. And so we brought great content like that. Then you had special guest hosts,
I did.
right? Ken
Yeah.
Duncan was in one day.
Ken
and
Duncan
then-
was in,
and you guys always do a great job.
it's funny because we're not that far apart. We seem opposing, but we're not that opposite. It's just our delivery is different.
Mhm.
And if you know Ken's history, you know why his delivery is different.
Right,
He ain't
right.
taking no mess, right? But at the same time, we work well together. We're able to talk about and congratulate our the candidates that won the night before. And Ken really wanted to lay in. Someone made a comment and said, Ken, and the Oscar goes to because
Right.
he was really on his best behavior. But I gave him that big sister look. I was like, look, that you know what I
Right?
mean?
Not today.
But we do work well together. And also Brandon Pope came in on Thursday. Cheryl Grace was out for a relationship Thursday. We ended up talking about a topic, a very sensitive topic, custodial dads versus custodial moms and dating. So that was a really good organic topic.
I missed that conversation. I really do. Because it's such a double standard. We won't get into it too deep now, but
it is.
I was, when I got divorced, or separated first, then divorced, my adult daughter, who was still at home, decided to stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the ladies ate that up.
Yeah, I know. It's a poo nanny magnet.
Oh, she wants to stay with you,
Right.
but she's a daddy's girl. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even a thought for her.
Yeah, see, women look at it like, oh my God, he must be quite the nurturer. If he
Yes.
cares about his kids, he's going to care about me too.
Yep.
But a single mama, she got issues. Okay.
How she drive them away?
Right,
What
right.
she
What's
do?
wrong with her? Why she got all them kids and she got one?
I
But yeah.
hate that I missed that. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, I know you had a very busy weekend.
I did.
I know you were outside on Saturday.
Ooh, I was outside Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
talk about it.
It started Friday. I went to go see Eddie Griffin. Is it Griffith or Griffin? Isn't
feel
it
like it's
crazy?
Griffin.
Yeah, I get it mixed up. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about, the comedian. And he started out really good, but he kept drinking that what do you call it? Tea.
He kept drinking that yak.
He called it tea, and he said tea and root beer, whatever.
That's what he called it.
Yeah,
He was
but it
drinking
was
yak.
alcohol, right?
Mhm.
And the more he drank, the more he got a little bit, less funny.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed that, but we still had a good time, me and my guy. And the next day,
Where was that at, by the way?
This was at the Hollywood Casino.
Okay.
Shout out to Hollywood Casino. Make sure you guys advertise with us on WVON so everyone can know to come out and see your events. It's a very nice, it's a new facility. They're fairly new. I didn't even realize that. They were always in Joliet, but it's a new building.
Oh,
I
you was
guess.
by me.
Yeah. I was tired. I
Man.
know. It was in Joliet.
Yeah, you would 10, like literally, you would 10, 12 minutes from my house.
But the funny thing is, I just left Wind Creek because I had a meeting with the new VP of marketing there on right before I went to see Eddie Griffin. I had to leave there, and they said, "Where are you going?" I'm, to Hollywood. No, you can't go there. But it was great, and they're actually one of our part of the WVON family. But then I had rehearsal because I'm in a play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a play. It's called The Empty Tomb. It's going to be at my church. Now, here's the thing.
Easter play.
Yeah, it's an Easter play,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't no punk, okay? We're talking about the 6 women of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
Okay, and she was crazy. Yeah, she was crazy. So I'm a method actress. So there are times when I'm in character. And to show you and prove to you that I'm in character, we're going to take a really quick traffic and weather break in my crazy voice right here.
I ain't saying nothing.
On WVON. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by Text Now. Other wireless carriers tell you when to pay. Text Now asks, what do you need? It's app-first phone service without commitments, credit checks, or a carrier attitude. Built for people who stop asking for permission. Download today.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Den Ryan downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic, 25 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, slow moving traffic, 16 minutes. Stevenson to Sub Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 29 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, slow go, 27 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 36 minutes. In Eden's, Montrose, Slade Cook, Smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, clearing out, high 42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow, clouds return, high 53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Will see my arms, I'll hold you, baby, never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love, sweet love, you've been running not too long.
I love this song. Did you pick this, Atiba?
I didn't pick the song, but I did pick the battle.
Yes, you did.
Can we tell them about it?
Yeah, what's up with the battle?
So we haven't done this in a while. It's just a lot of fun. It'll be in the background of what the things that we're talking about today. We're going to do a little battle. Anita Baker versus Sade. Is it Sade or Sade?
Sade.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no R in it, but black people put an R in it.
Yes, we will.
Doing it with the R for real.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. You know, we haven't done a battle, like you said, in a while, but even in picking those two, that's tough. Because I would do like Anita Baker and Phyllis Hyman, but you know, that's even tougher, I believe.
Phyllis Hyman doesn't have the
range.
No, not the range.
What?
The catalog.
Okay, well, that's true. That's true.
Right.
But I did love her music, and it was sad what, you know, how she ended up, you know, taking her own life. However, if you go back and listen to it every time, you'll hear more and more pain.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of verses, I was starting some mess this weekend.
What'd you do this weekend to start mess?
Friend of mine was having a birthday dinner at a popular fish restaurant that everybody goes to. So I don't need to know. Whatever you're thinking, you're right. I don't need to say the name of it. And so, but you know, it's a lot of black folk in there. And he used to sing in my group with me. So, you know, he and I have a lot of musical conversations. And I asked him, who do you have in this verses between Tank and Tyrese? And it was about 5 of us at the table. We took a poll. 3 of the people said Tank, 2 said Tyrese. And I just wasn't having it.
It was all guys?
No, not at all. And so we brought in the table of black folks next to us. It was about 7 of them. And we had a grand old debate about Tyrese and Tank.
And who won?
Tank still came out. If you counted the votes, Tank still came out. Probably of 12 people, I'd have to give them, 8-4.
Yeah, I'm not a big Tank.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm Tyrese.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's close.
Mm-mm.
But the Tank fans, you can't tell them nothing.
Maybe it's his chest or something.
I don't know. But it was a great conversation. It was a great debate, and that's exactly what the verses should do. It should be things that inspire you to go back and forth, talk about the different songs. What's your favorite song versus their favorite song? It was a lot of fun.
And let's not forget, Herb Kent used to do that every
every
week.
Sunday.
Yeah, he would do was it Battle of the Bands? He called it.
Yeah.
And because he did that, it gave you a different perspective on the type of music you were listening to, the artist, and where their initiative came from when they did their music. So I can appreciate that.
They still do it, but nobody does it like Herb
Not
Kent.
like Herb Kent. I don't listen to it. Sorry.
Let's go to the phone lines. We got Randy on line 1. Hey, Randy. Thanks
Hi,
for calling.
Randy.
Hey, Randy, you're live. Are you still there? No worries. We'll let Randy go.
Oh boy.
No
I felt like the post just went. Before we went to break, I was talking about these 7 demons that Mary Magdalene had. But for you, just in enjoying your weekend with the birthday party and everything, and not going to a funeral for, you know what I'm saying? It seems like there's a funeral every month in my life now. How did you feel with that birthday? Do you appreciate birthdays more now? Because I missed a friend's birthday on Saturday.
Well, let me tell you, this is a friend that goes back to when I was 17 years old. And we're both, he's a year older than me, a little bit less than a year older. He's 6 months older than me. Yeah. 82. So we've been friends for a really long time, right? And we don't talk all the time.
Right.
I haven't seen him 2-3 years. And so we probably hadn't talked in over 6 months. But our friendship is like that.
Yeah.
It was like yesterday. It doesn't matter almost how long is in between, how long our breaks are in between. Our friendship picks up right where it left off. So it was a blessing to see him and his wife. I'm gonna tell you what sucked. I'm gonna give you a very transparent moment. So he was there with his wife, and his wife's girlfriend was there with her husband, and all 4 of them are friends.
Oh, wow.
It was really nice, and I was there solo.
Yeah. Were you and your ex-wife friends with them as well
Absolutely.
in the past?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. She knew because she and I went to high school together. So when I knew him at 17, she knew him she knew him shortly thereafter.
Right.
So that being said, though, I spent the whole night like, I got to get a wife.
Mhm.
What am I doing?
I think we should do a show on that. Like,
I swear.
find Atiba a wife.
Look, I'm done. I'm tired of being outside.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was great. I can say with a straight face and with my whole chest, I'm ready for a wife.
So what's your type? I know you like these short-haired girls.
Yeah, and I
And,
mean,
'cause I-
short hair.
And if you're wondering, I know you heard Atiba, he broke up with his girlfriend,
I
right?
did.
I just want to make that clear because you were talking about my girlfriend. You were leaning in, blushing and everything.
I know.
And
know.
and then
I still feel a way about that breakup.
yeah.
But yeah, I love physically, I love a woman with big eyes, big
Mhm.
pretty eyes
Mhm.
that knows how to bat them. Because it gets me every time, and a big beautiful smile. Those are the two things I look for in a face. I don't care if she's fairer skinned or darker or caramel paper bag. None of that matters to me.
Does she have to be short like you?
It's helpful. I'm gonna let you get away with that too. I'm 5'8". I'm
Right.
of average height.
Right.
I don't have a Napoleon complex. But yeah,
and that's fair.
Right.
Because that Napoleon because you don't have that. I can
Right.
say that.
Yeah.
Because I don't get along with short men.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
We just don't vibe.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Mhm.
Okay. But for you, I can say you don't have that Napoleon complex.
No.
Which,
Thank
it's
you for that.
easier
I
to
feel
work
like
with.
I'm just tall enough to feel like I'm good.
Right.
Right. And so it's funny because my son is 6'3".
Wow. Yeah.
But that being said, as far as like character traits that I'm attracted to, I love a woman who's really kind. I love a woman who's really considerate. That if she come to your house, she's got a bottle of wine or she's got something. She's
not
bringing,
someone who's always sitting
she's
at the
bringing-
table trying to eat,
Yeah,
but someone who
who's
also wants to
bringing
bring something to the table.
Oh my God!
And we're not
So
talking about
she's-
finances. Like you don't need a woman to take care of you
No, we ain't talking about
financially.
none of that. We're talking
Yeah.
about consideration.
Yeah.
I love
Appreciative.
Yep.
I mean, I can just talk for you.
I swear to God, you hitting it on the head.
Right.
And that's what gets me. Someone who is kind to people who cannot help them. I see a lot of women and men who are opportunistic.
Right.
If
they can use you,
they can use
for
you.
something,
yeah.
they're all in your face.
But the way they treat people that they don't think can help them.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's
no.
huge.
That's huge. So when
Yeah.
I see a woman that just has that type of spirit about her, I'm in. You got me.
And she got to know how to dress because you like to go out.
Hey, she got to know what the assignment is.
Yeah.
She got to know what the assignment is.
I like that.
She got to stay gala ready.
Yeah. Stay gala ready. Look, I'm with you. My guy is gala ready all the time.
All the time.
But he was gala ready when I met him. So that worked for me.
Well, listen, guys, it's 3:30. We had a good time opening this up. Preston Shanks said, I'm Tony Braxton height. 5'8". Tony Braxton is not 5'8". She's like 5 foot.
5'5", right?
I don't think she's that tall.
Oh, she's 5 feet.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Look it up. I mean, I know it says on the internet, but she's a short woman.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, guys, Roderick Wilson of the LaGuardia Burns Hope Center is going to be joining us to talk about the CHA board that has picked their own CEO behind Mayor Johnson's back. He had a pick. They said, no, we don't want that pick. And they picked their own CEO. He's here to talk about it. He's even saying that this vote was illegal. So you don't want to go anywhere. You're listening to Atiba LaDonna Ray. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hope you're having a magnificent Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page. and hear what's happening in your local and national news. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is encouraging Black men to get screened for prostate cancer. He shared that he lost his father and both of his grandfathers to the disease. Because of his family history, Raoul began getting screened in his late 30s to watch and catch any potential issues early. WVON's Annette Flournoy has more.
Today marks a medical milestone for the Attorney General. In an exclusive WVON interview this morning, he tells Rufus Williams that it has been 10 years since his successful prostate cancer surgery and plans to celebrate by shedding light and awareness on the importance of men's health.
I want to share it by way of having a conversation. I'm going to be having a conversation tonight with Dr. Courtney Hollowell, who's chief of urology at John Stroger Hospital. And we're going to talk about things that men don't talk about, that we should talk about. And I think I look at it as a potential life-saving conversation.
He says he's made it this far through advocacy, early detection, and screenings. Annette Flournoy, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy confirmed that 2 Air Canada pilots died and 40 passengers were injured in a runway collision at LaGuardia Airport. 2 people in the fire truck were also hurt when the plane arriving from Montreal hit the vehicle responding to a separate incident. The NTSB is leading the investigation while the FAA noted fog and rain at the time. Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Zoran Mamdani offered condolences to the pilots' families. In other news, ICE agents are going to the nation's airports to help TSA agents who've been working without pay. Monica Nelson reports. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Do you need emergency cash now? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $5,000 fast. If you need cash for bills, car repairs, childcare, or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Millions have trusted WeFixMoney.com. Go to the site that you can trust. WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com.
WVON is more than a radio station. We're your connection to Black America. That means we're everywhere. On Facebook at WVON, on Instagram at WVON, and on the WVON app. WVON is everywhere.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news, headlines, and traffic updates. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 23 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, no delays, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, slow go, 18 minutes. Stevenson to South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 33 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, slow moving traffic 28 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 37 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Cooks, move ceiling 14 minutes. Your the 4-2 day, Chicago clearing out. I-42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return. I-53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If I tell you now, will you keep on loving me?
It's going to be a tough day today, LaDonna.
I see.
Both of them came out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
They came out swinging.
Kind of like you and me on a Monday.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank God it is Monday. You're here with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray, and we are glad to bring you the news that you can use. Joining us via StreamYard. This is his first time joining us via StreamYard. He normally joins on the phone, and he decided to hit us with the hat today.
Oh yeah, the Kango.
Bro, you look fantastic. You look fantastic. But more importantly, I know you are bringing the information that the people want to hear. So you had sent a press release on this. You guys have been all over this, but actually it's being written about in the major publications as well. Block Club Chicago. And if you ever, I don't mind giving them a shout out because we're able to pick a lot of our conversations from the excellent reporting that they do. Their byline reads, CHA board defies the mayor and picks its own CEO after a surprise vote. So take a listen to this. That's the wrong page. There we go. After the Chicago Housing Authority voted to pick a new CEO for the agency, and it is not City Hall, the City Hall veteran wanted by Mayor Brandon Johnson. After meeting for more than an hour in a closed-door session, the board approved a resolution naming Keith Pettigrew as the next CHA leader. The resolution was not shared publicly, before the vote, and several CHA residents murmured in surprise when operating chairman Matthew Brewer announced Pettigrew's name. What'd they say, LaDonna?
They said, who?
One of them blurted out. Joining us on the live line to help us better understand the gravity of all this is Roderick Wilson, the executive director of the LaGuardia Burns Hope Center. Thank you so much for joining us, good sir. Before we get into this story, just for anyone who is uninitiated with LaGuardia Burns and what you guys do, tell the listeners what it is that the center does. Primarily.
Thank you all for having me. I'm always honored to be on here. The LaGuardia Burns Hope Center is a community organization, and our mission is to increase the civic capacity of Bronzeville and other residents. And all that means is how do we get people involved in decisions that matter to them and their community so they can increase their agency, their power, work with others to build collective power to create the community they want. And that's all we do. So everything we do is to that end. If we're doing our Food for Families program for public housing residents, if we're doing organizing training, civic engagement training, if we're working on campaigns around rent control or local school councils, it's all to the same end. How do we get people involved in the community so we can begin to own our communities, envision the communities we want, and have the power to create it? That's it.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the history of FHA. And I'll be frank with you. I know much of this history just in my interviews with you. I know that the majority of folks were very unhappy with the last leadership, right? And it took a long time to get her out. Yeah. And I know that people have been waiting with bated breath to see what new leadership looks like. If I'm not mistaken, the last executive director or CEO was, selling some of the CHA land.
Yep.
Definitely not adhering to whatever contractual obligations she had to continue to build affordable housing,
Right.
right? Was not keeping track with that at all. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's been a journey. Talk a little bit about the journey as to where we are, why we are where we are.
Yeah, because historically, public housing has been a place for those. We live in a capitalist society where you got haves and have nots. Because we have that, we have some folks who may not make as much money to get into market housing, and that's where affordable housing, public housing come in at. It's for you, wherever your income is, you're going to pay 30% of that. And you got to think about it, like when Ida B. Wells was first built, people were fighting to get in there. I mean, it was like, man, it was managed well. And then also, if you messed up, you violated your lease, you was gone. So it was held to a certain standard. Over the years, it was bad management on CHA part that made it what it became. And because of that, many wanted to get rid of it. I think some for political reasons. I think the machine, when Harold Washington first got elected, I think the machine after that wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. So one way to make sure that Daley and other folks to get in is tear down all that voting power along.
That was a voting block.
That was a voting block, definitely. And for the first time in history, they started tearing down these buildings and were giving residents Section 8 vouchers, and now you can use them in other states. Instead of usually wherever you get it, you have to use in that city. They were allowing people to leave the state. So a lot of folks moved to Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, Wisconsin. You're talking about they're using public dollars to depopulate the Black community of Chicago. It's crazy, but many of us was advocating for that because what it had became because of poor management. But anyway, so
but wait, when you say what it became, are you talking about the connotation about the residents or about the way that the money or the housing was mismanaged?
When I'm talking about mismanagement, Ida B. Wells people fighting to get into, but when you had grass became dirt. Where you had working elevators, now they're not working. When you had clean hallways, now they feel like urine. That's bad management.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about resources and how some folks were stealing, money or stealing equipment, that's another thing about management. I'm talking about the management of the properties and making they were not making sure the properties were high quality properties for folks after a certain point. That's what I'm speaking to. That's bad management. But many people put the failure of public housing on the residents, the failure of public housing on CHA.
Right.
They stopped managing it. I don't believe you can't put high concentrations of folks who will have low income together and we don't live in high quality and we're not respectful. And I don't believe that, because we Black people, I don't believe it. But now it's this idea that you can't concentrate poverty because you do that, then it's going to be like how the public housing developers became. No, that was bad management. And they never owned that. The city doesn't own that, and public housing never owned that. That was their fault. And so that's what I'm speaking to.
Yeah, and I appreciate you connecting the dots because, I know another politician that comes to mind when we think about eradicating public housing and she was impacted was Dorothy Tillman, right? So there is a definite through line between public housing that we've had historically in the city and Black political power. Thus, whoever is sitting at the seat of CHA is highly important to the Black community. So let's go ahead and springboard till now. Let's talk about this vote.
Yeah, so what's happening is it's an old machine politic type of demonstration where the board chair at the time, a guy named Brewer, he did not let the public know this is what they were going to be voting on. And that's what our issue is, that it was an illegal vote. When you're sitting on a public commission, a public council, even your local school council member, you're a public official. There's this thing called the Open Meetings Act. You have to publicize your meeting agenda 48 hours ahead of time because you are a public official that sits over public resources. What they did, they put an agenda together, but it did not say they were going to be voting on the CEO for CHA. It says approve personnel actions, which is like, what does that really mean? And so, because
very deliberate.
Exactly. And if you look in the past, at other agenda items when they were looking at this, it said CEO. It said you saw it on there. So this was deliberately to being deceptive, so because they didn't want people to know what they were doing, and that's what makes it illegal. Because we got to make sure people need to have a voice on what decisions are being made by public officials when they're looking over public resources. So by them putting that agenda that way, they're taking away our voice to be able to say something about this. And we got that voice. Yes, they make the decision, no doubt, but we got some voice on how we want it to go. And they deliberately took that away from us by trying to be deceptive and with this illegal act.
But here's what I want to discuss after the break. It's right upon us. The byline reads a deception against the mayor, right? CHA board defies the mayor. You're talking about them defying also the people.
That's
right?
my point. That's right.
Exactly. So the question is, are they defying both? Who has the authority to pick the CHA CEO? Is it the people or is it the mayor? Answer that for us on the other side. You're listening to Atiba and LaDonna Ray. We're speaking to Roderick Wilson, and he is with the, watch this, Lugenia.
There you go.
Burns Hope Center.
I thought you said LaGuardia.
He's been saying LaGuardia for the longest. Yeah, it's
I looked at it and I was like, maybe I can't read. No, I'm just joking.
I was going to say,
it just
it could go either way.
So is it Lugenia?
Yeah, that's the way he said it.
He said Lugenia. Okay.
He even said it with some shade.
Yeah.
And I let him have it. That's why he laughed.
Lugenia. That sounds like a name right there. Lugenia.
So I wrote it phonetically, and I got it this time. So thank you, Brother Wilson. He's the executive director. He's going to answer that profound question on the other side of the break. 773-591-1690. The phone lines are open. What do you make of this vote behind closed doors for CHA president? We want to hear from you.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
With your help, the Illinois Lottery generated $784 million for education last year. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise even more. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
The Friday night of premieres returns to Vaughn TV Friday, March 27th. Opening night, Vaughn TV takes you inside a story that shook the nation. Say her name. The life and death of Sandra Bland. She was 28 years young, outspoken, politically engaged. 3 days after a routine traffic stop, she was found dead in a Texas jail cell.
How do you go from failure to signal a lane change to dead in jail by alleged suicide?
Say her name, a gripping look at the 2-year fight between her family and Texas authorities, revealing new details, hard truths, and Sandra's own powerful words. Then stay with us all month for bold storytelling from fearless new voices. Friday night of premieres begins March 27th, only on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. and now they bombed in Venezuela. They've got oil, and they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman.
What a great setup.
That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug. Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provide real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 24 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, slow go 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, slow moving traffic 22 minutes. Stevenson, Deuce, South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 28 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfton Post Office, slow moving traffic 30 minutes. And Edens, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 35 minutes. Your other 4-2 day, Chicago clearing out. I-42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return. I-53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Eyes open, but eyes are wide, and the love I could find. Still I can't get you out of my mind. 'Cause there's no one in the world to hold, no one in the world gonna move me.
I love this song so much. Wow. This reminds me of a Friday night of premieres that's coming up. It's going to return to Vaughn TV beginning March 27th. That's this Friday. 4 nights, 3 feature films, 1 short film showcase. Opening night features Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, a powerful documentary that looks beyond the headlines surrounding the death of the 28-year-old activist found in a Texas jail cell after a routine traffic stop. Through new revelations and Sandra Bland's own words, the film explores the 2-year battle between her family and Texas authorities. Then stay with us all month for bold storytelling from emerging voices. Friday night of premieres, only on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. You're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. And we are talking to our esteemed guest, Mr. Rod Wilson, who is the executive director at Lugenia. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
I put some extra on it. Lugenia Burns Hope Center. So before we went to break, you were asked that very question. Has the mayor been, should I say, dismissed or overlooked? Or has the public been dismissed or overlooked? What say you?
Yeah, I think it's both and. I mean, if this isn't a person that the mayor has put forth to the board as who he would want to see be a leader of CHA, then yeah, he's been overlooked. But definitely the public's been overlooked. And that's what we're here to talk about, how the public is supposed to have a voice in this process, because this is a committee that is a public committee. You know, they're looking over public resources. That's why we have this Open Meetings Act for us to have some voice in that. So I believe it's both and. And to go back to Atiba's question about who has the decision, you have what's culture and you have what's on paper. The culture is the mayor selects the board of the sister agencies. Except CPS now, because now we have an elected board, but that was one of those two. And then also the mayor would then select who they want to be the CEO, and then the board would vote on that person. So because you have the leader of the highest executive office of the city being the mayor, the culture was let them define who he wants to run things, so you have a one vision moving. That's how the culture's been. What's on paper is the mayor can appoint the boards, and then the boards can then decide on who they want to be the CEO.
So
So
because is it what?
I'll say, is it illegal for them to select someone that the mayor wants? It is not. Is it, some may consider bad form, because that's not how it's been going for a long time. But the how they did it is our issue. It's an illegal action in how they did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this is a violation, or a possible violation. And can something like this be challenged in court? Or where do we go from here?
So we'll be issuing a letter to the mayor tomorrow, us and a few other groups, asking them to intervene. But we also have lawyers looking into this now, lawyers who are experts on Open Meetings Act, to see what is our legal recourse on it. So we should know that by middle end of the week, and we'll be letting you know then how we're going to move forward with that.
So they may have to do a revote, maybe.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to rescind. It may not be a revote. They're gonna have to rescind this vote, and then hopefully, then they will have a better community process to go to the next point. Like you said, the woman that said, "Who this person, wherever they want to be on head CHA, should meet with groups. They should be meeting with us and other groups, folks who've been working on CHA issues for decades." I mean, they should. I mean, they should be meeting with the CAC, the Central Advisory Council. That's the leadership of CHA residents. Those are the presidents of every LAC, local advisory, every development. You know, I don't think this person has even met with them, because I've talked to a couple of members of local advisory council. They never heard of them. So this was, I think, one commissioner's way of trying to just ram in whatever they wanted. That's what I believe. It wasn't a unanimous decision. I've heard that the other board members didn't even know it was going to be on the agenda. So I think it was one person who comes from maybe an older view of how things should go with CHA, trying to exact their will on this public body. This is going to deal with these public resources.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You talk about basically this gentleman, Mr. Matthew Pettigrew, being an unknown, but the operating chairman, Matthew Brewer, he states that Mr. Pettigrew has a, quote, decorated career. He is well known for his relationship with the residents, end quote. Is that an untrue statement?
Well known in his relationship with what resident? He's come out of DC. He's ran the DC housing authority. You can ask the residents. I know I've met with folks. Folks are already coming to me like, who is this guy? Not Chicago residents. He's talking about DC, and he wasn't even in DC that long. We met with community groups when his name first came up about a year and a half ago. We met with DC organizations out there, and he'd only been there for maybe a year or less. And they were like, we're trying to find out what he's gonna do. He's saying this, but we ain't seen it yet. And so we were gonna reach back out to them until when we recognized this was an illegal vote. I thought, wait a minute, we need to deal with this vote first. Then we could talk about who he is, because this process wasn't right. So I hear, and Brewer is the one that's been pushing this. So yeah, that might be his take, but when you talk to the people, they're gonna tell you something different.
Absolutely. I want to do this. Can you sit with us for just a few more minutes? We got a couple calls to take. All right. So Michael O'Connor, we see you holding. Dr. Rosita, I think, left us a really interesting comment. She says, I agree. Poor people can have great communities without government interference. I grew up in Cabrini before they attacked Cabrini. It was the most loving place I have ever lived. It was a real community where everyone was supported. I learned about the grace at the little Catholic school, St. Joseph's, I attended. We had Tom Thumb weddings, used to trick or treat on the Gold Coast, was within walking distance of the Gold Coast, Lincoln Park Zoo, and Old Town, as well as the beach downtown, and so forth.
What is a Tom Thumb wedding?
I don't know.
Okay, you read it like you knew what it was. Because I'm like, I'm gonna ask you. It sounds like fun. I don't know what that is.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just open up to the listeners. Anybody know what Dr. Rosita? You can call us and tell us.
Yeah.
What is a Tom Thumb wedding? Because you got us on that one. But I appreciate the picture that she's painting.
Yes, she did.
Because it's easy to forget that it used to be that way.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
right.
It's easy to forget that it used to be that way. And there were many intentional things. The things that were done to change it were intentional.
That's right.
It was not evolution.
Not at all.
Not at all. So sit tight. Michael O'Connor, we see you holding. We're going to take your call first. When we come back, 773-591-1690.
Happy Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Illinois raw milk debate continues amid health warnings. White Sox add Reese McGuire ahead of opening day. Trump tie DHS funding to Save America Act. And senators push to ban sports betting via prediction markets. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON 1690, Berwyn, Chicago.
BIN News this hour. I'm Doug Davis. Coming up, are Democrats getting into more trouble for standing firm on ICE reforms related to DHS funding, furloughed TSA workers, and the stress it's putting on Americans? We hear from a black former lawmaker. Plus,
these are untrained individuals when it comes to doing the current job that they have.
Hakeem Jeffries versus Trump. No ICE paychecks until ICE is reformed. And hey, Bill Cosby is ordered to pay millions in a rape case that happened 54 years ago. But first, here's BIN News now.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it will take time to investigate the deadly collision at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
I just want to let America know that we are working our hearts off.
2 Air Canada pilots were killed and dozens were injured when a plane from Montreal hit a fire truck in rainy, foggy conditions. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation. The Supreme Court will hear a challenge to a policy that blocked asylum seekers from reaching the U.S.-Mexico border. The policy began under former President Barack Obama, expanded under Trump, and was later ended by President Biden, though Trump officials say it was critical for managing immigration surges. And Wu-Tang Clan is hitting the road with its Wu-Tang Forever, the final chamber tour, featuring 28 dates from August through October, starting in New York and ending in Phoenix. The announcement comes after the recent death of co-founder Oliver Power Grant, with tickets going on sale March 27th. I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Back to you, Doug.
All right, thanks and happy Monday. New polls show that Americans are turning hard against ICE, sort of. 50% are not in support of the agency, and it appears that only Republican voters are in favor of ICE's rogue actions. But will the party stand for ICE reforms that have not found favor with Republicans that are keeping the government from fully reopening and paying TSA and other agencies backfire? Former Justice Department staff member, African-American Mondaire Jones tells MS Now.
I think when it comes to 2028, you are not going to see a serious presidential contender on the Democratic side use phrases like abolish ICE. I think you're going to hear something more common sense in its orientation, which is that we ought to be reforming ICE. We need to make sure that ICE is not out here gunning down citizens.
Jones and other progressive Democrats like Ilhan Omar call ICE lawless. Republicans continue to call Democrats the anti-law enforcement party. Centrists like Angie Craig warn that the wrong labeling, like 2020's defund the police disaster, could cost Democrats elections. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is in a high-stakes shutdown battle with Republicans refusing DHS funding without, quote, dramatic, bold, transformational ICE reforms. Jeffries jumped on CNN's State of the Union to talk about it and blasted President Trump for deploying ICE agents to airports due to furloughed TSA agents taking off and claiming security concerns.
The last thing that the American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize or in some instances kill them. We've already seen how ICE conducts itself.
Late last week, Jeffries launched a discharge petition to fund TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, separately leaving reforms with ICE for a later fight. Jeffries rejected a similar GOP resolution.
It's unfortunate that Republicans have decided that they would rather force TSA agents to work without pay, inconvenience millions of Americans all across the country, and now potentially expose them to untrained ICE agents and create chaos at airports throughout the land rather than get ICE agents under control.
Democrats demand ICE agents be unmasked, require judicial warrants for entering properties, and barring enforcement at sensitive locations like schools and hospitals, among others. And finally, a jury just slammed Bill Cosby with a $19.3 million civil verdict to Donna Motzinger, who says he drugged and raped her back in 1970. 72. She testified that Cosby handed her a glass of wine in the limo. She blacked out and woke up violated. Cosby insists the sexual encounter was consensual. The verdict follows years of delayed accountability, some say, and criminal convictions that were later overturned. The verdict also includes punitive damages amounting to $5 million. Stay connected and subscribe and follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Doug Davis for the Black Information Network.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Remember when getting your hair done wasn't just a beauty ritual, but a bonding experience? From hot combs in Grandma's kitchen to laughter in the local beauty salon, it's a journey rooted in love, legacy, and style. Join Nidra Williams, owner of Solo Beauty Supply, for the business of black hair Tuesday nights from 9 to midnight. She's bringing the sisterhood back. One story, one strand at a time. It's more than hair, it's heritage. Join the sisterhood. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, WVON.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Do you need emergency cash now? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $5,000 fast. If you need cash for bills, car repairs, childcare, or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Millions have trusted WeFixMoney.com. Go to the site that you can trust. WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com.
This report is sponsored by Text Now. Other wireless carriers tell you when to pay. Text Now asks, what do you need? It's app-first phone service without commitments, credit checks, or a carrier attitude. Built for people.
Hi, I'd like to get some wings. This is a spicy wings contest.
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black Girl Magic, WVON.
This girl is on fire.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. Keep trying
for you. All right, guys, we're back. Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Ray, the afternoon show.
There's
We're
nothing like
speaking-
you and I.
Nothing like it. This is
Baby.
No.
Yeah, no ordinary love.
Who you got so far? You have Sade, or because this is another heavy, like
it really is. You know, and yeah, Rod, you already know what we're in the middle of here. We're in the deep end. And Sade is someone I can listen to on repeat.
Yeah.
Like for months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anita Baker, I have to sing with her and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I would need a break.
Mm.
But Sade just has that smooth, all year round type sound.
All right.
Yeah.
The third voice you're hearing is that of Roderick Wilson, the executive director of the Lagenia Burns Hope Center. And we're talking about the fight for CHA. They have tried to pick a new leader, new CEO, without any public accommodation and really against what the Mayor Johnson was proposing. And as promised, we want to go straight to the phone lines. Mr. O'Connor, you're up.
Hi, good afternoon, and good afternoon, your guest.
Thank you.
Hi.
Well, it looks like to me that the mayor and the commissioners and the CHA residents or the representatives thereof are all dancing on rice paper. And it looks like to me that Commissioner Matthew Brewer, who, well, let me just say, if this is what's a Negro from Yale, Princeton, and Harvard Law School comes back to our community and does to low-income Black folks like him, we're in a sad state of affairs. Definitely a sad state of affairs. And yet, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a paralegal. And as such, I do know that because these are public entities, a violation of the Open Meetings Act can get the federal government to jump in from HUD and do an injunction and take over CHA like they have taken over CTA. That's my comment. You have a great day.
Thank you for that. Is there any possibility, is there any appetite for a step in by the federal government?
Yeah, we're looking at that now. We have our lawyers looking into it and see what our recourse is. I'm not a lawyer. I know they violated this. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the recourse is. Is it going to the Inspector General? Is it filing a complaint with HUD? Is it filing a complaint in the judicial system? So our lawyers are looking into that. We should know that by Wednesday, Thursday, where we at with that. So we'll be now making another announcement then around that. And also we're reaching out to the mayor too, so see what the mayor can do as well. Because again, there are two things, sir. Yeah, they moved without in a different direction that the mayor wanted, which is more of a thing. Well, that's a violation between their agreement or how they normally move. But we're speaking to the violation of a law that's in place on how public entities are supposed to move when it comes to the public. And
All right, let's grab this. Yeah, let's grab this caller real quick.
Interestingly, I think this is him.
Yeah.
Is this Mr. Matthew Brewer?
Good afternoon. Yes, this is Matthew Brewer. How are you?
Oh, we are
Doing well.
fantastic. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, I love listening to your show. So I was surprised to hear my name come up, but I did think there was a good opportunity to call and at least give a little more perspective.
Absolutely. The floor is yours, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. And I appreciate Mr. Wilson sharing his perspective. We met before at different CHA meetings. And so what happened last week was the product of what's been going on for 18 months. CHA hasn't had a permanent leader for 18 months. And that is a disaster. That we have 5% of the city living in our housing, and affordable housing is a critical issue for all of us, and it needs a steady hand, and we haven't had a permanent leader for 18 months. If there's something to be upset about, it's that. And, we started a process in November of 2024 with the mayor's office where we said, we have a vacancy, let's pick a new CEO. And so what we did was we outlined an entire process with the mayor's office where we put together a committee of people to interview potential candidates. We had an outside search firm go out and recruit the best of the best, both in Chicago and across the nation. And then we sat down and interviewed them. Guess who was on that committee? Ms. Francine Washington, the elected leader of the CAC. So it was important to us to make sure we had resident input. during the process. Obviously, we can't wait to get Mr. Pettigrew here to meet with more resident leaders, Mr. Wilson, but obviously we can't have every single resident sit at the table. So that was all part of the process, agreed upon with the mayor's office, and through that process, Mr. Pettigrew emerged as the top candidate. He has over 20 years of experience leading housing authorities. By the way, he grew up in public housing himself. So he knows the challenges, he knows the possibilities. He's a real dude, and I'm confident that when he gets here, the residents, the organization, the city will love him.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to put that out there.
Let me ask you this.
Well,
because
wait, before you go on, we need to
can I
tell
finish?
people
Can I
who
finish,
he is because
Okay, yeah, he was referenced earlier in the article.
the operating chairman.
Yep, he's the operating chairman.
Yes, I'm the operating chairman, the guy who Mr. O'Connor said, the Negro. I'm that guy. I am the operating chairman. Yes.
Okay. So that being said, let's because you are defending the person, and right now what has been scrutinized today is the process.
Mhm.
So what is it you can tell us about the process and the accusations that have been levied today that makes the process okay? Because as we're understanding it, even per the article, this was a closed door session. There was not public input, and so if those things are true, is this somehow an illegal vote?
Yeah. So great question. The answer is no. But what I was saying before, when I went back to November of 2024, that is the process. That's when it started. And those interviews we did with resident leadership at the table, all of that is the process. The process culminates with a vote. And the way that vote happened was, I've been on this board. Let me take a step back. I've been on the board of commissioners since 2013. I've been involved in the selection of 3 different CEOs now. And the process works a little bit differently every time, but I can tell you everything we did in this process from a public awareness standpoint is consistent with what we've done in the past. We have not had broad meetings where residents come and meet with the CEO candidate while we're interviewing them. We've had resident involvement and then a tour where the new CEO gets to speak with everyone once they're in office. And that's what we're doing here. And with respect to Open Meetings Act, election of hiring and firing of people is a personnel matter. And we listed personnel matter on the agenda. I understand Mr. Wilson's perspective. I respectfully disagree with it. I can assure you that nothing was done to hold back anything from the public. We took the vote out in the open and we went commissioner by commissioner. So each person's vote could be heard transparently, open in the public. I read the entire resolution for 10 minutes in the public. And there were, out of 10 commissioners, there were 2 no votes.
So why does I guess we got to go to break. I was going to ask, why does the mayor feel like this was done behind his back since everything was done the way it has been done before?
He can answer. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the mayor, but I will tell you that his office interviewed Mr. Pettigrew over a year ago, or not over a year ago, just under a year ago.
Okay. Well, Mr. Brewer, we want to thank you for again, calling in. This was, obviously very spontaneous. And giving us the added perspective so that we can continue this conversation.
And we want to thank you for listening to the show.
We absolutely want to thank you for listening to the show. And if you like,
thank y'all for everything you do.
Yeah, and if you like, we happy to, if we can get hold of your contact information for future interviews, that'd be great as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Mr. Wilson.
Hang on,
Take
Matt.
care.
Thank you. All right. So I want to give you the last word. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Thank you. So on the point that I think you raised, Atiba, earlier, where Mr. Brewers in his article stated that he met with residents, he mentioned one resident.
Yeah.
Francine Washington, who was the head of the CAC. That's one person. So that's a whole nother thing. On the point that we're raising is any other time they were dealing with the CEO of CHA, it was listed on the agenda as CEO of CHA. There was a meeting they just had last September. I went back to last September. It was on the agenda. Yes, it is a personnel issue. We granted that. But to do it under the auspices of personnel without letting people know what you're doing, that's the deceptive part. That's what makes it illegal.
Understood.
Because it was not in concert with what they've done in the past. You know, that's what he's not speaking to. Yeah, it is a personnel issue, but it was done so people did not know what was going on.
Understood. We absolutely have to leave it there.
Okay.
But we appreciate you coming in, and we're more than happy to have a part 2 because we want to continue to follow this story as it unfolds. So again, when you get your very next press release or whatever the very next steps are, you know we got you,
my man.
Right,
and thank you,
so
sister, too. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a real quick break for traffic and weather, but when we come back, we'll be joined by attorney Robert Patillo. He's going to help us better understand this case of Breonna Taylor and the feds, the Department of, I won't even get into the department, but the feds are looking to dismiss the charges against the last 2 officers, and he's going to help us better understand that. You're listening to Atiba LaDonna Ray.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Secure the rate, love the return. Hi, I'm Harry Malone, Vice President and Community President of United Fidelity Bank. At United Fidelity Bank, we make it easier than ever to start growing your money with confidence. Right now, you can take advantage of our high-yield CDs, including our 6-month term, currently paying 4.20% annual percentage yield. It's a competitive rate designed to help your savings work harder from day one. And when you bank with us, you're choosing more than a great rate. You're choosing a team that believes in personal service, relationships, and financial solutions tailored to your goals. We're not a big box bank. We're your local partner committed to delivering the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by and see me or my team to open your high-yield United Fidelity Bank CD at our Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street. Details at unitedfidelity.com.
Rates are subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to a standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
Black Creativity 2026 is now open at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. The exhibit features the nation's longest running exhibition of Black art, plus interactive family experiences, STEAM career showcases, youth flight school camps, and signature events throughout the season. From art and innovation to education and community celebration, Black Creativity uplifts the voices, stories, and contributions of Black artists across generations. Buy tickets today at griffinmsi.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-9301. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-9301. That's 800-518-9301. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really pop off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
There's no one in the world.
I'm sorry,
Like you do.
I love this song. I can't wait to
This is
sing.
a heavyweight
I
match
know,
right
I
here,
know.
man.
See, this is Anita Baker. When you think about Anita Baker, I think about wanting to be in the moment with these songs. Like I like singing this song to the person that needs to hear it. So I think I'm gonna do that. Guys, you're listening to the afternoon show with Atiwa Buchanan. And I messed up your name, getting that taco out my mouth. Atiwa Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on WVON 1690. You guys can give us a call. We're going to open up the phone lines, 773-591-1690. And we're going to open up the conversation as it's time to move on to our next guest.
Absolutely. And our next conversation. So we will, again, as promised, keep our eyes all over that story with CHA.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you updated. But the Department of Justice has moved to dismiss remaining federal charges, against officers accused of falsifying the warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's home. We all know the story of Breonna Taylor. She was killed in a no-knock raid. The warrant has always been at the center of this tragedy, and the decision is already sparking strong reactions around accountability and justice. Here on the live line to help us better understand what is happening is attorney Robert Patillo. How are you doing, good sir? And thank you so much for calling.
I am outstanding. Thanks so much for having me on.
You got it. It's just so that we remind our audience, have you been a defense attorney or a prosecuting attorney?
I've been a defense attorney and civil rights attorney for nearly 20 years, so a long time in the game.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. So that being said, what were your initial thoughts in hearing that the department, were you surprised at all to hear the Department of Justice looking to dismiss these last two charges?
And will this Department of Justice know? President Trump has made it clear from the time that he was on the campaign trail last year that one of his goals was to reverse all of the advancements that have been made through the George Floyd summer of 2020, through criminal justice reform across the board. And what we're seeing here is a political decision, not a legal decision. Whether or not you falsified a warrant, in law, there's something called a res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. If the warrant is falsified, then you're guilty. If the warrant isn't falsified, then you're not guilty. The only way you get to a place of saying we're going to dismiss the charges is you're saying the warrant was falsified, but we don't want to prosecute these people for political reasons. And part of this Department of Justice's raison d'etre in large part has been to overturn any efforts at holding law enforcement accountable for police brutality, for killings, etc. So this is to be expected from this Department of Justice. This is why elections have consequences.
Absolutely. I was going to say, because this case was started under the Biden administration, right? And now we've transitioned to a new president. Here's the thing, attorney. Historically speaking, you know, when we look at a Black person's civil rights, being harmed, we have gone to the federal government when local police departments, when sheriff departments would not do the right thing, and we've been able to find some semblance of justice as Black people for the past 50 years at the federal level. This is the first time in a long time in modern history that we're not able to see the federal government as a respite, as a place that we can expect any kind of justice. How big of a culture shock is that, and should that be to us?
Well, it shouldn't be a culture shock because they wrote Project 2025 in 2022. They told us what they were going to do. They wrote it down. They published it in a 920-page document. They campaigned on it. They talked about it. They did not keep this a secret, that this is what they were going to do. And remember, just as this has been the past 50 or 75 years that we've had the protection of a federal government that would actually defend civil rights, they've had that much time to plan on how to overturn that. And it's even more insidious than simply not using or not enforcing laws meant to protect African Americans. They are now using those same laws to charge African Americans with reverse racism and reverse charges. For example, charging Don Lemon under the KKK Act for entering a church. These people realize that instead of changing the laws, all you need to do is change the people enforcing the laws. And this is why it's so crucial that the next time that we gain a political majority, is not simply enough to have Justice Department policies towards something. It's not simply enough to have case law that supports you. We have to codify these rights into legislative action and enshrine them into law so that it takes a act of Congress to change them. Because as we're seeing right now, all you have to do is shuffle around the personnel. And if you get the type of Attorney General that Pam Bondi is, the type of FBI Director that Kash Patel is, then you will see these miscarriages of justice as they're slowly turning the clock back, not to the 1960s, but to the 1860s.
All right, hold that thought, attorney. We're up on a break. It's 4:30. Can you stay with us through one more segment? We just got a couple more questions for you. And
Sure
the call.
thing.
Excellent. All right, we see you holding. Sit tight. 773-591-1690. You're listening to Atiba LaDonna Ray. We're back on the clock. We'll be right back with attorney Robert Patillo.
Hope you're having a marvelous Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. Advocates in Illinois are pushing to ease restrictions on raw milk sales, which are currently limited to direct farm purchases. State health officials oppose the change, citing risks from harmful bacteria in unpasteurized milk. A proposed bill to expand sales has seen little legislative support despite growing demand. Stricter regulations are likely to remain in place to protect public health. In other news, the White House signed catcher Reese McGuire to a one-year deal as they finalize their roster. He will join Edgar Caro behind the plate while Kyle Teal is sidelined with a hamstring injury. McGuire previously played for the Cubs and spent much of spring with the Brewers. Corey Lee's role is now uncertain. The team also optioned reliever Brandon Eisert to Triple-A Charlotte out of Thursday's opener in Milwaukee. In other news, President Trump says he telling Republicans funding the Department of Homeland Security should be tied to the Save America Act. Speaking in Memphis today, Trump called Democrats disgraceful for allowing the chaos at U.S. airports during the DHS shutdown. Trump said he suggested strongly to Republicans not to make any deal to end the shutdown or anything unless it includes the voter ID bill Trump has been pushing for weeks. Trump said Republicans shouldn't worry about the upcoming Easter break and do it for Jesus. And a bipartisan group for senators has introduced a bill to ban sporting events from a prediction market. Senator Adam Schiff says these platforms exploit a loophole to allow sports betting in states where it may be illegal. Sites like Polymarket and Kalshi let users make yes or no wagers on sports, politics, and pop culture events. The legislation comes as states, including Arizona and Nevada, begin taking legal action against such platforms. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690.
Trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, just extended until March 29th at Collaboration Theater. Step inside the courtroom and witness Mamie Till Mobley, a mother angry and bold enough to let the world see the brutality inflicted on her 14-year-old son. Her courage ignited a movement. Trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, now running until March 29th. Get tickets now. Call 312-226-9633. That's 312-226-9633. Or visit collaboration.org.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
The Friday night of premieres returns to Vaughn TV Friday, March 27th. Opening night, Vaughn TV takes you inside a story that shook the nation. Say her name. The life and death of Sandra Bland. She was 28 years young, outspoken, politically engaged. 3 days after a routine traffic stop, she was found dead in a Texas jail cell.
How do you go from failure to signal a lane change to dead in jail by alleged suicide?
Say Her Name, a gripping look at the 2-year fight between her family and Texas authorities, revealing new details, hard truths, and Sandra's own powerful words. Then stay with us all month for bold storytelling from fearless new voices. Friday night of premieres begins March 27th, only on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik. You've seen him on cable TV. Now hear his spirited conversation on The Talk of Chicago. The question at hand is raising voices of the Negro. That plain and simple. Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 21 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, slow moving traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson due South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Please be cautious. There is an accident reported. Stevenson at LaGrange Road, 28 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office, slow go 26 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 36 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago clearing out, high 42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return, high 53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Taste a kiss. Kisses are mine, they're not mine. He takes, but surely she can't give what I'm feeling now. She takes, but surely
I think I'm leaning towards Sade. Anita Baker Sade is the verses in the background today. And I love, and I don't have a bad word to say about Anita Baker. Not one, but man, Sade is doing it for me today. You're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. We're joined on the live line by attorney Robert Patillo, defense attorney, civil rights attorney Robert Patillo out of Atlanta. And he has been walking us through the federal decision, the request to have the remaining charges against remaining charges against two officers, I should say, in the Breonna Taylor case. And you again, you're helping us better understand this. We got a couple calls. I want to get to them right away. Hey, brother Art, thank you for calling.
Hey, what's going on, young people? You know, what I have an issue with is every time something goes on, we want to refer to the current administration. And this is where my problem is at. Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden, you all could have talked about reparations. You could manipulate the system, the people, just like any other politician or whoever sits in the seat. But because you didn't do it, not you, but those who was in the seat of power, when you know these critical issues are sitting on the table for black people, why didn't you have the courage, the cojones to do what you knew was right and righteous? Is because you were just trying to stay face so you can continue to do what you wanted to do. So now you want to put it on somebody else that probably wasn't going to do it if we're going to go with that line of thinking. But when you was in power, you fumbled the ball all the way through. Now you want to tell the voters, oh, now we need to watch out. You should have did your job when you were sitting in the seat. I leave with that and whatnot and focus on rebuild and re-strengthen the black family. May God continue to bless.
Thank you for that, Brother Art. Not surprised by the comments. And I could easily reply to it, but I'm going to leave it to our esteemed guest. If that's okay with you, Attorney Patillo, your thoughts on what Brother Art is positing.
Certainly. And, I've heard this often, even on my radio show in Atlanta. And this is part of a massive COINTELPRO operation during the 2020 and 2024 elections. Remember, Kristen Clark, when she was in charge of the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department under Joe Biden, prosecuted more police brutality cases than absolutely any head of the Civil Rights Division in American history. Even if you go back to Eric Holder under the Obama administration, we had consent decrees in Ferguson, consent decrees on police reform around the country. We were tracking police arrest data. We were tracking police body cam data. We saw prosecution, not just prosecution, but convictions of officers. We saw criminal justice reform criminal justice reform legislation passed on the state level in over 26 states. So it's not that these things did not happen. But I will say Democrats do a very bad job of publicizing those things when they do happen.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when you had the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act go past the House of Representatives and go to the Senate, when you had the Tyree Nichols duty to intervene amendment added to it, you saw Republicans in the Senate filibuster it. And unless you had a 60-vote majority in order to overturn that filibuster, it was impossible to get those things pushed through. This is why it was done through administrative action. So it's not that these things had not happened. It's that you had agent provocateurs being paid by conservative groups to run out there and tell black folks, oh, Kamala Harris isn't black enough. What are Democrats doing for you? These folks ain't doing nothing for you. You don't need to vote for them. You need to vote for Trump. Kanye supports him, those sorts of things and all that. Black folks from other countries ain't black, all this other nonsense. And they did it specifically to divide the black vote, not to get more black folks to vote for them, but simply to get more black people to stay home for thinking that nothing was going to change. And as a result of that, we've seen over 350,000 black women lose their jobs in the first year of the Trump administration. 500,000 black men have lost their jobs in the last 6 months. College admissions for African Americans have plummeted through the floor because they no longer have to push those programs through. And it's all because of this disinformation campaign that is specifically targeted at the black community, using black celebrities and social media accounts and those sorts of things in order to influence public opinion. And now that those folks are in office, all those black folks who were telling you that Kamala wasn't black are nowhere to be found because most of those were bot accounts that never existed.
I'm getting really concerned because it sounds like we as black people are more and more being painted into a corner and we're almost ass out. That's the only way I can come up with it. You've got ICE that's able to shoot individuals and kill them, and walk away. You've got
citizen or not.
Right, citizen or not. You've got no-knock raid officers able to get off. You've got excessive force police able to do what they do. You've got police officers that are able to say, I was afraid for my own safety, so I did X. I'll throw in the EEOC. I feel like we are just not protected, period. And this brings me to a question of what the thin line between civil rights and human rights, because I have a right to live. Breonna Taylor had a right to live. And when you come into someone's home where they're minding their own business and you cross the line because you have whatever type of warrant and you take their life away, she had a right to live. And now we're so focused on civil rights, which is pretty much supposed to keep our human rights safe. Well, they're not. So at what point do we get tired? And what point who defines what justice really is? Because the law is saying that it's justified, but we're saying it's not. Where do we draw the line here? Because it's gone.
Well, I think we should have drawn that line about 30 or 40 years ago, and I'm right on board with you. And the problem that we had was we got to a place where we had successive attorney generals pretty much from the Clinton administration on through to the Obama administration, including the George W. Bush attorney generals, who were actually interested in working towards racial reconciliation. holding officers accountable, pushing through police brutality legislation. The problem that we ran into is that we as a community got complacent by the gains that we made. We no longer held people's feet to the fire on these issues. We started talking about all kinds of other stuff like, well, who's Waka Flocka Flame voting for? Where's Nicki Minaj at? What's Kanye doing over there? Is Ice Cube talking to the president? We took our eyes off the ball on the macro goal that we were working towards. Meanwhile, the folks who are on the other end, they were just sitting there reviewing data. They were saying, well, this is what they're doing for police on criminal justice reform, and this is how we can counter it. This is what they're doing on employment. This is how we can counter it. I even saw black folks last year talking about, yeah, we need to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs
because white women
helps
get
white women,
right?
Yeah, there's more white women in the country, so the numbers are going to look that way. But now, when you have hundreds of thousands of black folks who are out of jobs, none of those folks are around to explain why they were supporting them. So we have to do a better job of, one, educating our friends and neighbors in our communities. Statistics showing you guys are on radio, you'll see it. Black women in particular listen to more radio than any other group in the country. We consume more media than any other group in the country. We're the only group that does not have their own independent news outlets that can deliver their news to them directly in an unfiltered manner, which is targeted towards those audiences. We don't have trusted names who are paid by us to deliver news to us and to deliver the news that is pertinent to our communities. And therefore, we end up in a media cycle where we're getting talked to and talked at instead of being part of the conversation and having the editorial control to actually drive these conversations. Meaning we have to do it locally. You have to do it within your friend group, within your church, within your sorority, your fraternity. We're not waiting for the 2026 election. We're not waiting for the 2028 election. We're knee deep in the middle of it. I talked to some brothers today that had no idea we were at war with Iran right now. They couldn't figure out why gas is so expensive. So we have an information desert in the black community, which leads to people having they get news through rumor and through innuendo, through social media, which is almost never actually accurate information. And that's how they're able to control us. They don't control us through information. They control us through disinformation.
Oh, you said it right there, right up to the break. It's that time. Are you staying? I mean, we've got tell me what to do. Okay. Because
we got Brother Chris and we got Ron.
Okay.
If you can hang with us, hard stop at 5, we greatly appreciate it.
I'll hang with you. I'm sitting in the Popeyes parking lot, so I'll wait a little bit longer.
You got it, brother. Thank you
hold
so
on.
much.
Can you give me some crispy dark, please? I appreciate it.
I got you. Yeah.
All right. Guys, we're going to go to traffic and weather. We'll be back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Women's History Month, WVON proudly presents Women Who Roar, Black Women Leading in Corporate America, a special live roundtable discussion you don't want to miss. Tune in to Cleopatra Draper live on The Cleopatra Show, Wednesday, March 25th, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Real stories, real leadership, real impact, only on WVON 1690.
As nice as it might seem to sleep on the couch with your baby on your chest, it isn't safe. Couches and armchairs are extremely dangerous places for infants, and sleeping on them greatly increases the risk of death, especially if an adult is also asleep. Couches and chairs are great places for you to feed, hold, and bond with your baby, but when it's time for them and you to take a nap, they should go in the crib, bassinet, or portable play yard. For more safe sleep tips and resources, go to oneshyfam.org/safe sleep.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-9301. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-9301. That's 800-518-9301. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman.
What a great setup.
That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug. Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provide real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news and traffic headlines. Dan Ryan downtown on 95th, slow go 21 minutes. I-57 Ryan to I-80, stop and go traffic 16 minutes. Bishop Ford Ryan to I-80 94, slow go 27 minutes. Stevenson to Sabo Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 30 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office, slow moving traffic 25 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 32 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cooks move Stanley 14 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago, clearing out, high 42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow, clouds return, high 53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Feel just fine when I think my peace of mind is out of reach. Scales are sometimes unbalanced, and you better with all that has to be. I hope you see that you can lean on me.
Welcome back. The afternoon show, Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Ray. We have attorney Robert Patilla on the line. We're talking about the dismissal of the charges, or should I say the dropping of the charges for the two officers or former officers.
Well, they're suggesting.
They're
Hasn't been
suggesting,
dropped
okay,
yet.
all
They're
right.
asking for that.
I'm just mad, okay? Let's go ahead and get to these callers.
All right, we've got Ron on line 2. Hey, brother Ron.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, attorney, I find it very disrespectful to use a 68-year man to think, because I voted on position. I'm influenced by counterintelligence, okay? Because I'm retired, I spend a lot of hours reading 7, 8 newspapers a day. I listen to various media and some conservatives. But I always find that. So because we have a different outlook, we're informed. But okay, so I'm going to tell you, you just said earlier, well, the next time we'll get a chance, I guess, to put some people in Department of Justice. I don't know when it's going to be, because this is what people voted against, black and white. The policies, it had nothing to do with Trump. The policies of that party. First of all, that was the most incompetent person I've ever seen run for office. It had nothing to do with her being a black woman. She was totally incompetent. The policies. First of all, Democrats said, well, we can't stop illegals from coming to the country. Trump said, okay, stop it day one. Last thing, they support, they are co-opted by gay policy. In this country, rejected. Men should not play sports with women. So you know what? Just keep selling that.
Quick question for you, brother Ron.
And we are going to continue to win.
Quick question, brother Ron. Do you have any?
Me saying it.
I just had a quick question. Do you have any comments about what we're talking about today? Do you have any comments about?
No. He said that the.
We're talking about Breonna Taylor. Do you have any comments about the officers? The Department of Justice.
All I'm saying is,
do you have any comments about that?
Trump and the Republican Party stay
You
the
win.
course.
We
That
got it.
nonsense
We got it.
he
You
talked
win.
about. No, he said y'all were gonna get the Department of Justice back.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brother Ron.
yeah.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Let's go to Brother Chris. Thank you so much,
Brother
Chris.
Chris. We're talking about
Hey,
Breonna
good
Taylor,
afternoon.
though.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon, Attorney Patillo. I heard him many times. A lot of knowledge. I'll say this. Some of the important parts of that case with Breonna Taylor, and hope that sister rests in peace, how the officers lied to get the warrant, and how that one officer wantonly shot it where he could not see with closed blinds. The only reason why he was charged, my belief, was it went into the bullet went into the white neighbor's apartment where their children were stationed. And Obama, they were trying to do the 21st century policing, and they were close. And I think Tim Scott struck it down on the Republican side. And has it been said, Republicans lie like it's the truth. Democrats tell the truth like it's a lie. They need better messaging. And even with the death of the brother in Minnesota, I forget, he got choked out. The official medical George Floyd, the official police report, he died of a unknown medical condition. But for the video of the young lady video, we would not have known. And also Charlie Kirk, before his demise, was trying to push for that officer for Trump to pardon him, and but for some of the double charges, where there's state charges and federal charges, how accountability. But it's just a middle finger to the Black community with this administration, and promises made, promises broken. Gas is at an all-time high. Our reputation around the world, even the allies didn't want to go to the Hormuz Strait and help us out.
Yeah,
there's still Gaza's still going on. Ukraine's still going on. Rampant unemployment. They don't even release job numbers. This is the worst administration in the history. And if you guys could do me a favor, send Ron some testosterone, maybe through the mail.
That's the last. Thank you, Brother Chris. That's the last thing. I think Brother Ron is charged up enough. There's a comment, Attorney, in the chat here when we had an earlier caller, and the comment is, "Why is he so mad?" And the same thing happened kind of with the last caller. I'm trying to understand. They both came in pretty hot.
Who was he talking about? Who are they talking about?
I don't want to get into the names, but he just called.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But Attorney, what is it you said that was so that made them so angry? Because they both came in pretty hot, and I can't even when I replay what you said in my mind, I don't know what about it was so offensive.
Well, we have this saying in the South, a hit dog will holler. And I think that's what often you're seeing, which is that when some of these things hit close to home, and nobody wants to think they got played for a fool. Right. Nobody wants to admit that they got tricked, that they are a sucker, that they got, that they got. As they say, they got caught lacking. You even hearing what they're saying, they're saying, well, yeah, everything may be going to hell, but at least men can't play women's sports. All 6 people that happened to, hey, the Black community is facing an unemployment crisis we haven't seen in the last 40 years, but at least they got the illegal immigrants. They're getting rid of all the DEI programs. Our kids can't go to school. We can't afford school. Can't afford food. We can't afford gas. We can't take care of ourselves. They're closing down hospitals in Black communities. They're cutting SNAP benefits. They're cutting welfare. They're cutting education. But at least they don't have no gay people on TV. That's kind of what they're left with. And once you kind of dyed in the wool for this, you're kind of stuck with it. But I do encourage people that the good thing about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is you can always come to him as a redeemed spirit. You can repent your sins and you can be redeemed in the eyes of God. Even if you voted for Trump 3 times, there's still time to come on home and do right and understand the danger that is happening to our community. We are not going back into a 1965 mindset. We're going back to an 1865 mindset. Remember, President Trump is in the Supreme Court right now attacking the 14th Amendment, not just the current civil rights laws. They're trying to go back to the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and overturn that. They want to overturn literally every single piece of legislation that has ever been put on the code of the United States of America throughout its 250-year history that relates to the liberation and the advancement of African Americans, and overturn that before the next election. So when we're talking about the fact that even right now today, President Trump said he will not fund the TSA until they pass the SAVE Act. For the people who don't know, the SAVE Act is a Jim Crow law. It is not like a Jim Crow law. It is not Jim Crow 2.0. It is a Jim Crow law. Go and read a Jim Crow law and go read the SAVE Act. They're the same damn thing. And so the fact that President Trump is openly advocating for the passage of Jim Crow laws and saying he will not sign any piece of legislation, he will not reopen the airports, he will not do anything until Jim Crow is the law of the land, to tell you exactly what they're planning for these next and upcoming elections, sending ICE agents, not just to the airports, but Steve Bannon said this is a dry run for sending them to the polls in November, kidnapping and stealing the voter rolls here in Georgia and in Arizona and other states, trying to purge voters. These people are not trying to win elections. They're trying to steal elections. And the fact that we still have people arguing about whether or not there's a transgender running track or playing volleyball while our entire democracy is at stake shows you just how deep that COINTELPRO programming went and fooling and deceiving people. And that's why it's so dangerous.
Attorney Robert Patillo,
Yeah, thank you so
we're
much.
over the break, but you were cooking so well
Man.
that I was not
Sizzle.
going to interrupt. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. Thank you so much for reminding us of what's important.
Mhm.
Until next time, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We are just touch over the break, so we got to take it. Ron Stone, though. Not Ron Stone, Al Stone. We see you. Anybody else calling? The phone lines are open. When we come back, our good friend Hawk Newsome from Black Lives Matter New York joins to tell us if progressive policies in New York are working, and more importantly, if they are working for Black people. We'll be right back.
Happy Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Immigration officers seen at Chicago's O'Hare Airport after Trump order. ICE agents deployed. Cardinal Health recalls alcohol pads over bacterial contamination. And study says exercise in the morning is better than afternoon. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON 1690, Berwyn, Chicago.
We have major points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces. They're unable to talk to each other. But we've had very strong talks. Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly.
Because of this, Trump postponed 5 days of airstrikes on Iranian power plants after his Strait of Hormuz deadline. But there are conflicting reports. Iran's news agency says that no talks are in the works, and Israel has denied it is negotiating with Iran and will continue its airstrikes. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton reacts to it all on CNN.
I think the basic problem remains the regime. Is as long as they're there, they now have palpable proof that if they close the Strait of Hormuz, the world's economy suffers. So their leverage is significantly up if we allow this to continue and allow the regime to remain in place.
Bolton went on to say that Trump's poor planning led to Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz. The Trump effect is appearing to wane as many of his constituents polled say they are against long wars and high gas prices. Meanwhile, while Trump's power grabs dominate headlines, Columbia, South Carolina Black State Representative Jermaine Johnson announced that he's staying in the 2026 governor's race for the long haul.
Hey, y'all. By now, I'm sure all of y'all have heard these rumors that I was considering getting out of the race. And to be honest, I had a statement prepared this morning to release to the media, but y'all have spoken. The people of South Carolina have overwhelmingly spoken up, and I went ahead and I tore that statement up.
Rumors have been circulating that state Democratic leaders want him out and are pushing for white multimillionaire Billy Webster IV. They allegedly feel that South Carolina is not ready for a black governor. Party Chair Christelle Spain denies any of the claims. And finally, outspoken former black judge and courtroom TV star Joe Brown is dismissing Michael B. Jordan's Best Actor win at this year's Oscars, calling the show good entertainment with predetermined winners. Brown is downplaying the win and says Hollywood plays politics too, and that many awards are not given on merit alone. Brown also said Jordan thanked God and that had to offend someone, but no matter how he feels, it's facts that Jordan's emotional speech honored coveted black actors from Sidney Poitier to Will Smith. And that felt good. Brown made his comments while being interviewed on the Real Dana podcast last week. Stay connected and subscribe and follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Doug Davis for the Black Information Network.
I may ask this family about what they eat.
Dr. M?
If he's turning playtime into screen time, that might be something I'd like to know. Has he tried smoking? Does he vape? I might even ask about changes to her body. Is she feeling overwhelmed? Any signs of anxiety? If we feel comfortable asking these questions, shouldn't we also be asking, how do you store firearms in your home?
Firearm injuries are the leading cause of death for children and teens in the U.S. It's our responsibility to have a conversation about firearm injury prevention, because questions about safety are questions about health. Find tools at agreetoagree.org/healthcare.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. That taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Facing production swings or tough skill gaps, workforce solutions from Express Employment Professionals make hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan downtown on 95th, slow go 19 minutes. I-57 Ryan to I-80, slow moving traffic 15 minutes. Bishop Ford Ryan to I-80 94 is at a snail speed 23 minutes. Stevenson to South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State stop and go traffic 30 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office, slow go 23 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, slow moving traffic 33 minutes. And Eden to Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago clearing out, high 42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return, high 53 and a low of 42. It's currently 40 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black Girl Magic, WVON.
Superwoman, yes I am. Yes, she is.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
I watch the sun. sure. Give you the world if it was mine.
March is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating the women who roar, the leaders who challenge systems, the innovators who disrupt industries, the athletes who make history, the journalists who demand accountability, the entrepreneurs who build from the ground up. They're bold, they're brilliant, and they're not asking for permission. We're spotlighting women who are breaking barriers and building legacy in every lane. Tune in all month long for Women Who Roar, because quiet was never the assignment.
All right, you're listening to the afternoon show with Tiba Buchanan, LaDonna Ray. It's about 10 after the hour, our last hour of the show, and it has been a fire conversation thus far. We spoke with Roderick Wilson of the Lugenia Hope Burns Center, talking about the transition at CHA, what he feels is an illegal vote. Great conversation. Again, we'll keep our eyes on that situation. We just spoke with defense attorney Robert Patillo, and he helped us better understand the lack of charges, or there are charges, but they're asking them to be dropped in the case in the killing of Breonna Taylor for the last two remaining officers that were being charged. Right now, we want to go check out the East Coast a little bit, and we see you, Al Stone, Pianki, and everybody else that's holding. We see you. We'll get to your calls. But I'm just wondering, I've been hearing a lot of good things so far about the new mayor of New York, Mamdani. And he's an unapologetic democratic socialist. He has won this seat with his full chest. He has not hidden his agenda. He feels like that this is the way to go, that this is the way to change New York. He's had the opportunity to implement some things. And I want to know, are those things working in New York for the average New Yorker? And most importantly, I want to know if they're working for Black people. So let me give you a little bit more information. Again, as of early 2026, Zohran Mamdani has taken office as the mayor of New York City. He was sworn in January 1st and has begun implementing his, quote, democratic socialist agenda, which is facing both operational implementation and significant fiscal and political challenges, because that's what happens. All those ideas sound great till you got to pay for them. His key policies, centered on affordability and social welfare, are in the early stages with mixed reaction regarding their viability. Let's give you an example. He's in February, rent freeze. Mamdani filled the rent guidelines boards with members aligned with his policy, making a freeze on rent stabilized apartments highly likely fulfilling a core campaign promise. Is that something he's going to be able to sustain? Quote, free buses. Mamdani has advocated for permanently eliminating bus fares, a plan estimated to cost roughly $650 million to $1 billion annually. While 2023 pilot programs showed high ridership increases, the citywide implementation depends on state funding, which is uncertain. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It was a really big deal over this past winter. I guess instead of using the usual contractors to shovel their snow, he paid citizens were able to sign up, and I think over 1,400 did so, and he paid them, I think, a rate of $30 an hour, which purportedly saved the city a lot of money, and also got a much better result. But again, that's what's being reported. I need to know, we know here in Chicago, some things can be reported, and then there's real life. And helping us better understand what that real life looks like is our good friend, Mr. Hawk Newsome, the president of Black Lives Matter New York chapter. Thank you, Mr. Newsome.
Yes,
and
welcome.
No one is going to be, this is why I like you, because I don't care what the label of the mayor is. Independent, Republican, Democrat, what libertarian, you are going to hold their feet to the fire for the truth. And that being said, that's why you make the ideal guest, because if this guy is not bringing it, I know you're going to be the first person to say so. That said, welcome to the show, and we'd love your thoughts so far on the mayorship of Mr. Mamdani.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. And that was an amazing compliment. And you know, I just want everybody who's listening to know that talking to y'all is like being at home for me, you know? So, yeah. As far as Mayor Mamdani goes, it's too early to tell, right? Okay. It was hard to give like Eric Adams, his predecessor, a chance to grow into who he was trying to be, because everything that he said at this point was wrong, was counterproductive. It was anti-black in a lot of ways, and I know that's hard coming from a black mayor. So now that we moved into the Mamdani era, he has said all the right things, right? Leading up to this point, has he done all the right things? Up until last week, he did not have a black deputy mayor, right? Which a lot of people had a problem with, you know. It was a very tough situation, because most of the black leadership in New York, I didn't say black New York, I said black leadership in New York, they supported, you know, your Sharptons and all those other people. They supported either Eric Adams or former Governor Cuomo, who was running against him, right? So his campaign was largely opposed by black leadership in New York, who were in essence bought and paid for, until it got to the point where it was just him running against a Republican, right? So his policies are beautiful, right? And I'll say this soberly. If he achieves 30% of what he set out to do, then we'll be happy, right? If what he's doing doesn't match up to what he's promised, then we'll have a problem. So how have we had a problem with him thus far? He kept the former police commissioner, Commissioner Tisch, right? Commissioner Tisch, you might know the Tisch name because her family owns the New York Jets. The owner of the Jets had to step down and give it to the rest of the family because his name was in the Epstein files. That Tisch family, super trillion billionaire Tisch family, that's them. The same, you know, super wealthy people who he's supposed to be against, who Mayor Mamdani is supposed to be against, that Tisch family. So he kept her on, and a lot of us in the streets had a problem with it. Was it enough to indict him and say, hey, we're not rocking with you anymore? No, we still kind of sitting watching to see what happens. So last week, Monday, a police officer doing a rogue investigation followed somebody who he thought stole his wife's car. They weren't even in the car he was looking for that he thought was stolen. He approached him. Some kind of scuffle happened, and he started shooting at a car, and he hit somebody in the head and left him brain dead. 1 day goes by, Mamdani doesn't say anything. 2 days go by, 3 days go by, Mamdani doesn't say anything. So, you know, me, my team, my co-founder, Hawk Newsome, and another civil rights leader here in the city, Reverend McCall, we went to his house and had a press conference outside. Like, you are going to say something. Right? When one of us, when somebody who's black or brown get shot up or mistreated, it's your obligation to say something, and you haven't spoke on it yet. So we were out front holding his feet to the fire, so to speak. And, you know, he finally did make a response. He said that it was deeply troubling and that he's happy that it's being investigated. So,
well,
you know,
it sounds like he's got a laundry list of things to be accountable for. Can you hold that for 1 second? We're going to go to traffic and weather. And when we come back, more from Hawk Newsome, the president of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Secure the rate, love the return. Hi, I'm Harry Malone, Vice President and Community President of United Fidelity Bank. At United Fidelity Bank, we make it easier than ever to start growing your money with confidence. Right now, you can take advantage of our high-yield CDs, including our 6-month term, currently paying 4.20% annual percentage yield. It's a competitive rate designed to help your savings work harder from day one. And when you bank with us, you're choosing more than a great rate. You're choosing a team that believes in personal service, relationships, and financial solutions tailored to your goals. We're not a big box bank. We're your local partner committed to delivering the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by and see me or my team to open your high-yield United Fidelity Bank CD at our Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street. Details at unitedfidelity.com.
Rates are subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to a standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
This report is sponsored by expresspros.com. Facing production swings or tough skill gaps, workforce solutions from Express Employment Professionals make hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit expresspros.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic, 23 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 25 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 27 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, slow moving traffic, 22 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 33 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, clearing out, high 42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow, clouds return, high 53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What you have to bring to me is positivity, send it right away, right away. I wanna know what good love is like, good love.
Once again, this is the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray, also known as the Blacks. But hearing Anita Baker, we're having this battle between Anita Baker and Sade. Again, I think I can honestly say that Anita Baker's songs, I can listen to them, then sing it to whoever I want to sing it to, and then put it away.
Yeah.
Sade, repeat. Everything. All day for 2 months. I can do that.
Amen to that. Guys, we have with us Hawk Newsome, president of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter and a real New Yorker. And he is informing us on, we're having a conversation about the new mayor, Ramdani, and his policies. He is a unapologetic Democratic socialist. And we want to know, and let me tell you, Mr. Newsome, why I wanted to have this discussion. One, if the policies are working, right, then that's something that our mayor, who was also pretty progressive, and Mayor Johnson, I wanted him to be able to lean in on what is working in other cities and stay away from the things that are not working. So we definitely want to tie it to our local politics here.
And I know you said Ramdani, but we were thinking about Rahm Emanuel a little bit. It's Mamdani. I had to look at the spelling. Yeah.
Thank you. So, LaDonna, I don't want to get it too deep because I know you got some questions.
Yeah. When it comes to progressive mayors such as Mamdani and his policies that he's rolled out, And I love the fact that he's okay. You said, let me shorten my intros, right? Because I'm thinking about all of these things that can be progressive and positive for Black people. But when you say free transportation, which can cost between 600 million and $1 billion a year, who ends up paying for that?
He's trying to tax the super wealthy in New York. These are the same people who have gotten ridiculous amounts of tax breaks from Donald Trump. These are the same people who find loopholes to evade hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes, and he's trying to tax them. He's trying to make them carry the burden for the rest of New York. And what he's doing is he is putting forth a plan that puts the pressure on the governor of New York. Now, Governor Hochul, who is someone who I'm absolutely not a fan of, she is in bed with the super wealthy. This is a woman whose husband somehow involved with the, what do you call it, the Buffalo Bills, and they a bunch of subsidies and stuff to buy a new stadium. She is in bed with the super wealthy. She is in bed with the real estate lobby. And she is now in a position where she's going to have to tax the rich or make other New Yorkers suffer.
Now, see, when you do something like that, when you tax the rich, and instantly I'm thinking about, wouldn't they just leave? You know, I've already heard threats of the rich saying that, hey, if they tax us, if we're penalized, if we don't get to live our comfortable lives, we're going to go somewhere else. So what is the risk factor if you can answer to that?
And instances in the past have shown that they don't actually leave, that they talk or go on, but they stay here. It's New York City. I mean,
right.
You know.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
You know what I mean?
Where are they going to go? Tallahassee?
Yeah, right. Come on, man. It's billionaires row right here. Come on, stop it. But yeah. So that's what it is. And it's ambitious. And if it works, then yes, it would be a model for the rest of the country. Even the buses and things like that being free. We did that during COVID and it worked. If you look at the buses and the trains, I'd say 30 to 40% of the people hop the bus, hop the train. Now you got to understand, this is an arrestable offense. Hopping the trains and risking going to jail because it is the thing to do, or it's cool. They're doing this because they can't afford to live in New York City. In the poorest congressional district in the country, a 1-bedroom apartment is like $1,800. That's New York City.
Dang, I'm not gonna complain anymore.
Yeah, that's tough. But again, to your point, Mr. Newsome, it's about affordability. People are not trying to be, like you said, they're not trying to be cute. They're literally trying to survive. You know, this is the one thing that concerns me. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. I'm gonna give you an analogy. And there's an episode where Homer Simpson, the dad, runs for mayor or some position within city government. I think it was mayor. And he promised as mayor that they would do garbage pickups every day. And so he won, and then he delivered on that promise. Problem was, he ran through a yearly budget in 2 months. And then nobody was picking up the garbage. And so again, though the reason I bring that up is to say, you know, a lot of these programs sound good in theory, but are they fiscally possible? And are you guys beginning to see whether or not these things just sound good, or if there's actually some meat on the bone?
A lot of them haven't gone into action yet. But what I've seen is him holding landlords accountable. Like, we got serious slumlords in New York City, right? And you'll have these real estate lobbies who will invest $500,000 in a city council campaign, whereas the total raise for the winner is $1.5 million, right? So you have real estate lobbies who are investing a third of whatever it takes to win this election in these poor communities so that they can come in and build and gentrify. Now, one of the things that we're pushing for and is the area median income, right? That's what they base affordable housing on, right? So in Harlem, let's say the average person is making 40 to 60,000. They incorporate upstate New York, Westchester, they incorporate the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side, and it makes that median income $120,000. So $120,000 apartments for a neighborhood that the median is truly between 30 and 60, isn't it unaffordable, right? So he's trying to create affordable housing. He's trying to attack these landlords who commit egregious acts against us. Oh God, there was a landlord that withheld hot water and heat from the people, wouldn't fix repairs, had rats, roaches all over these people, and he got fined $2 million, right? And this is a person who should have went to jail for everything they did. He doesn't go to jail. He gets a $2 million fine, which he could afford because he already stole that from the people, overcharged that from the people. But you hop the train, you get, a $3 subway fare, you get arrested. There needs to be some sort of radical balance. And I think that's what Mom Donnie represents.
All right, hold on. You took us right to the break. Feels like you got a clock on your phone.
Right. He knows the breaks.
I'm learning.
Right. So we got a couple calls holding. Bianchi, Tommy, we're going to take your calls with Hawk Newsome on the other side. We'll be right back.
Hope you're having a marvelous Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. ICE officers are at O'Hare Airport to help with the shortage of TSA agents. President Trump announced yesterday that he would deploy federal immigration officers at airport security checkpoints during a government shutdown that has led to long lines. The move comes as hundreds of thousands of Homeland Security workers, including from the TSA, U.S. Secret Service, and Coast Guard, have worked without pay since Congress failed to renew DHS funding last month. Several TSA agents have called in sick or quit their jobs. In other news, ICE agents are going to the nation's airports to help TSA agents who've been working without pay. Monica Nelson reports.
The partial government shutdown has led to missed paychecks for the agents, and many have called out sick and in some cases quit their jobs altogether. ICE agents are helping with crowd control as lines at some security checkpoints have been long due to the staffing shortage. It comes as Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport has told travelers to arrive at least 4 hours early because of the wait times. I'm Monica Nelson.
In other news, Cardinal Health is recalling near 400 lots of antiseptic wipes due to potential life-threatening bacterial contamination. The wipes used before injections or blood draws could cause serious infections if used. The recall affects products distributed in the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Japan from September 2025 to February 2026. No infections or deaths have been reported, but consumers are urged to check and dispose of any recalled wipes immediately. And exercising in the morning is better for your health compared to later in the day, according to new research. Mark Mayfield fills us in.
A study found that those who exercised earlier in the morning were 31% less likely to have coronary artery disease, 18% less likely to have high blood pressure, and 21% less likely to have high cholesterol. They also found they had a lower chance of getting diabetes or being obese. Researchers presented their findings at the American College of Cardiology after tracking heart rate data for a full year on thousands of people who exercised. I'm Mark Mayfield.
I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690.
This Women's History Month, WVON proudly presents Women Who Roar, Black Women Leading in Corporate America, a special live roundtable discussion you don't want to miss. Tune in to Cleopatra Draper live on The Cleopatra Show, Wednesday, March 25th, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Real stories, real leadership, real impact, only on WVON 1690.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik. You've seen him on cable TV. Now hear his spirited conversation on the Talk of Chicago. The question at hand is raising voices of the Negro. That plain and simple. Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Joe's Landscaping. This is Joe.
I'd like an estimate to install a sprinkler system in the forest.
Okay, your property's on forest land?
Oh, no. It is the forest.
I don't follow.
Well, I'm calling around for estimates to install sprinklers throughout our forests.
What?
Well, let me explain. We're a grassroots group looking for funding to combat people's recklessness with fire in the forest. We can't get funding if we don't have an estimate, so,
Are you serious?
Yeah. We're calling it the National Sprinkler System. Isn't that great?
You want to know how much a sprinkler system would run you for the forest?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't even make sense, sir.
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? You're right. Maybe we should just map out Olympic National Forest first.
Is this a joke?
No. Imagine being able to flip a switch and put a fire out.
Flip a switch. You know how much land you're talking about?
I know it seems big, Joe.
It seems big.
Well, they built that pipeline thing. That's pretty big.
No. I'm sorry. I can't help.
Wait, Joe.
Only you can prevent wildfires. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, the Ad Council, and this station.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Facing production swings or tough skill gaps, workforce solutions from Express employment professionals make hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan, downtown on 95th, slow go 19 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, stop and go traffic 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, slow moving traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson, New Sub, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow moving traffic 23 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfdo Post Office, slow moving traffic 24 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 32 minutes. At Eden's, Montrose Lake, Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago clearing out. I-42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return. I-53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
He's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
This reminds me, welcome back to the afternoon show. That was an abrupt stop, but it's okay. This reminds me
That was
when
the best part.
I know, but it's okay.
Okay,
It's okay. A long time ago, I was a board operator, but I wanted to be a smooth operator. Somebody on the mic, right? I never asked for it, so I didn't get it until 2016. And here I am with you, across from you, Atiba. And you're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. And we have Hawk Newsome on the line. He's a friend of the show and a friend of the station, who is the president of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter. And speaking of which, we got some callers waiting to get picked up. Let's get Pianki.
This Black Life Matters.
That's
Hey, Pianki.
right. Hey, Pianki.
Yeah, how both of you doing? You know, the TV, you hit it on the nose. I have to agree with you. You said these things sound good, which they do, but how you pay for them? And that is the big problem. Taxing the rich don't work because the rich don't use public transportation, and they're already in a disarray because they have to pay for it. And like Donna said, they move, and they do move. And I wanted to make a comment on your last guest, the attorney, and something on Sandra Bland real quick.
We're talking about Breonna Taylor, not Sandra Bland, but go ahead.
Yeah, but Cleopatra talks about Sandra Bland.
She sure does.
Sandra Bland, it's a shame that she ended up getting dying. But get this, when she was put in jail, her bond was only $500. And the activists and the family, you mean to tell them they couldn't raise $500 to get her out of jail? She'd probably be living today.
I'm
Thank
sure
you
they
very
live with
much.
that guilt I'm sure, it's
Hey.
it's one of those things that just rubs your nose in it. I'm sure they live with that every single day.
Do you support? Let me. Oh,
And
he
I'm
left. I
sure,
wanted to ask him if
sure
he
it makes
supported
it
no
harder.
cash bail.
Right.
But go ahead, Mr. Newsome. Your thoughts.
No, I'm sure her family loves to hear people jump on the radio and talk
Mhm.
about, oh, y'all should have bailed her out. They just
Mhm.
thrilled every time they hear that. It's one thing to be wrong, but it's another thing to be strong and wrong.
Loud and wrong.
And the brother made the point that, oh, the rich people don't take the bus. Dog, sir, nobody has a decision on where their tax dollars really go. So the fact that the rich don't ride the bus or not doesn't really matter. We tax them so that we can get the things we need. I'm sick of this society where we worship the rich, and we've seen a lot about how the rich get down with these Epstein files. And I'm tired of us worshiping these people and protecting them. They have no desire for us. They steal their wages. Just to give you, I like stats, I like receipts, I like data. Let me explain to you how the rich work. Blue collar crime accounts for $50 billion in damages across the country. The crimes by the wealthy account for $500 billion. Okay? We're worried about these people. They're getting away with bloody murder while the police and the politicians target us for something that's not even a percentage.
For jumping a
of what they're
turnstile.
truly-
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. I was saying they get on us for jumping a turnstile.
Yeah, so it's hard, and with all due respect, they talk about, oh, I'm not sure if that policy will work because it's too radical and it's too different. That's what the South said when they wanted to free the slaves.
All right.
I mean, it's funny to me, man, that again, to his point, he talked about the rich don't take public transportation. Do you know how many people don't have school-age children that pay taxes that support the school system?
Mhm.
But
Right?
even
That's just
back in
not
the
how that
day, I
works.
heard even Biggie took the train station. I mean, took the or benefited from the rail system. That's
We all benefit from
Everybody
it.
use
But
it.
everybody does.
Yeah, they use it at like vehicles. I
Yeah.
don't live there, so I don't know.
No, Neo from The Matrix, Keanu Reeves takes the train.
Yeah.
Like, you have the richest people in the world. In New York, you take the train. Sometimes you need to get 20 blocks, and in a cab, it'll take you 45 minutes. In a train, it'll take you 8 minutes. It's just something New Yorkers do. It really is a privilege not to have to take the train, but a lot of us just take the train even when there's options. Or you park, like this morning, I had to go 30 blocks away. No, I had to go 30 blocks away. I parked my car and, and took a cab to rest because finding parking in Manhattan is crazy. You got to spend $70 for like a half hour or an hour. So it's different here.
Absolutely. Let's keep the calls going. We've got Tommy on line 4. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
Well, I just would like to ask you guys a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Please, go ahead.
It starts out with, once again, from the hallowed halls of sanity, I'm here to invite the three of you to a seat at the table, because I have been trying to make sense for the longest why individuals don't recognize and understand a simple narrative called "skip the hell out of you." Because there's something wrong when you have to tell someone who's been elected to an office what this gentleman is saying, what we have experienced, and what we know to be true. But what is even worse is at such a time as this, I want to tell you, as a result of the individuals calling WBON, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped talking to God, because God said, hey, man, look here, what you want me to do with him? I said, you made him, and then you know what he told me? Skip you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Tommy. We appreciate you on that. Eddie, take us to the break, bro. Take us to the break. I know you got something good for us.
Hey, black folks, can we stop equating slavery as an analogy to everything that doesn't have anything to do with slavery. It's a total disrespect.
When did
to
that
our
happen?
ancestors.
When did it happen, brother? I really don't know what you're talking about. When did it happen?
It just happened. He just said he compared what y'all topic to slavery. He's like, that's like, I didn't tell that to the slaves. I'm just saying, man.
Policy argument, sir. It was a policy argument, sir.
What does that have to do with slavery?
It was a policy argument because they said who would pay for the labor? How will we carry on and produce the money to pay for this labor? And people are saying, how will we pay? It's the same economical, political argument, sir. And I'll never stop talking about slavery. It's my right to talk about slavery as a descendant of slaves.
It's apples and oranges, brother. But hey, you grown man, do you? I'll say this. As a person who lived in New York from Chicago, they have the greatest marketing or marketer ever. Even your man said it. Hey, it's New York. Where they want to go? Do y'all Negroes realize that y'all can actually live in 49 other states other than New York?
Yeah, actually they do. That's why there's been,
hold on, wait.
There's been a
I
huge
stayed in
exodus.
Manhattan. I stayed in Manhattan in a one-bedroom. The sink fell out the counter, and it was $7,000 a month, directly across from the Time Warner building. New York is a dump. They got trash on the street. You got to take the subway because you can't drive no damn where because there ain't no room. They don't have no alleys, no sunlight. I don't get it, bro.
Let me ask you a question, brother
No way
Eddie.
in hell I'd be wasting my money in Manhattan.
Quick question for you, Eddie.
I mean, it's
hold on, Mr. Newsome. I got to get this question in. I'm trying to understand what we're talking about is whether or not progressive policies in New York are, one, benefiting New Yorkers and two, benefiting Black folk. A general diatribe on whether or not New York is a beautiful city or not. How is that germane to what we're discussing?
It's not germane. It's just when he said it's New York, that just set me off because that's a lot of people. They act like New York is the greatest place in the world to be, and it's not. I just don't understand that mentality.
Well, the mentality is the people.
No, it isn't. Y'all food even it's like your food is way worse. Come on.
Now
man.
you got to it.
wait,
Now,
hold on
now
now.
he got
Hold
to
on
it.
now. Yeah, come on.
Pizza's trash.
No,
He
no,
wanted to
shit.
have a pizza
That's right.
conversation.
We got the
I
best
get it.
pizza. Come on, let's just keep it real. Chicago got the best
Rats
pizza.
walking down the street smoking cigars.
And they still have a
Y'all
million.
got guns and gang bandanas on. Leave me alone.
But you got to understand, New York. New York is the it's the first state in the country. I mean,
a
come on,
dump.
it's the oldest, I should say.
Man, that guy's a marketing genius. Whoever got everybody to run to New York and waste their damn money is a genius.
Thank you, brother Eddie.
I could say the same for the United States. I mean,
Mr. Newsome, on that note, I'm gonna let you go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. He was awesome. I really appreciate him.
Right. Eddie always is. But brother, thank you so much, man. We're going to keep our eye on this. We're going to check back with you maybe in the fall and after he's had a few more months to implement some things. And we want to hear back from you and let us know if these things are working. Again, I know you're going to tell us the truth.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed one.
you
Take
too.
care, brother.
Are you guys participating in the No Kings March in New York?
Nah, I think the No Kings March is a political circus. I do radical things where people don't worship politicians. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to let you
Appreciate
go on
that.
that note. Yep. Thanks.
Thanks,
All right,
brother.
guys. We're going to go to we're going to go to traffic and weather. We'll be right back. This is our last break before the end of the show. And that's right. You're listening to the afternoon show.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray, your new favorite part of the day.
Tune in 3 to 6 Monday through Thursday on WVON 1690 AM. We ask the questions you're thinking.
And the ones you're afraid to ask.
The afternoon show, only on WVON.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Maticus, the Black Spartan Show. It's the Black Talk Check-In every day from 12 to 3 on your favorite radio station, WVON. We are speaking Black power to Black people every single day. Facebook Live, join us. The conversation is blasting there. Share it with everybody you know. This talk needs to be heard all around the world because it's the Black Power Station, 1690 AM, WVON.
The Friday night of premieres returns to Vaughn TV Friday, March 27th. Opening night, Bond TV takes you inside a story that shook the nation. Say Her Name. The life and death of Sandra Bland. She was 28 years young, outspoken, politically engaged. 3 days after a routine traffic stop, she was found dead in a Texas jail cell.
How do you go from failure to signal a lane change to dead in jail by alleged suicide?
Say Her Name, a gripping look at the 2-year fight between her family and Texas authorities, revealing new details, hard truths, and Sandra's own powerful words. Then stay with us all month for bold storytelling from fearless new voices. Friday night of premieres begins March 27th, only on Bond TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Bond TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONWealthShow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug. Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provide real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan, downtown on 95th, slow go, 15 minutes. I-57, Ryan, I-80, slow moving traffic, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan, I-80, 94, slow go, 22 minutes. Stevenson to South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow moving traffic, 23 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office, slow moving traffic, 22 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 30 minutes in Edens, Montrose, Lake Cook. Smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago clearing out. I-42 and a low of 28. Tomorrow clouds return. I-53 and a low of 42. It's currently 41 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Dreams are dreams, some dreams come true. I found a real dream, baby, when I found you. You're so strong, but tender too. You're mine now.
Now, see, this proves my point again. But I love this song. I remember when my mother used to play it. My mother bought this album. I believe Anita Baker had on something like seafoam green or something, maybe like a blue. Short hair always. I can see the cover in my head. But this is one of those songs that you can't sing it like yourself. You have to sound like her. You have to do that dip that she used to do. And really get your point across. But, you're listening to the afternoon show, just the end of the afternoon show. And we want to thank all of our callers and everyone who was on our Facebook that shared the show and the comments that are so spectacular. I'm going to read them all tonight. Like, my vision has been
I got one I want to read
impaired.
when you take a break.
Yeah, I was going to say my vision has been kind of impaired, so I can't really see it like I want to. I read slow now because I can't see the letters. But I want to take my time and read them tonight because it looks like they were coming through kind of heavy.
Yeah. Well, Randall says, I guarantee you that New York radio shows will not invite Chicago community organizations to discuss Chicago topics. These NYC people would blowtorch their host. There are more than enough community organizations in Chicago who need and deserve a platform. And you're right, Randall. We talk to those organizations every day, and we'll continue to do so. But last I checked, a couple things. Black Lives Matter is a national movement. I know who the head of the Black Lives Matter Chicago chapter is. I've interviewed her on this station as well. So that's one. That's a national movement, and we spoke with that. Two, there are things that you can learn and glean from areas that are outside of your own. If you only take in information from where you are, from your immediate surroundings, how do you ever learn if someone somewhere else is doing something better or different than the way that you're doing it or more efficient? What is the harm in figuring out if that thing works and if it's something you can apply? That's the only purpose of that conversation today, was to say, are these things working? Is there something that our mayor could take from that to better the lives of the citizens here in Chicago? What is inherently wrong, innately wrong, from getting information from someplace just because it's not where you're from?
Well, and to your point, I think that sometimes people don't think that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is Voice of the Nation.
Absolutely.
So, Voice of the Nation means that it's more than just Chicago. We are in Chicago with the talk of Chicago, but we do reach people from all over. I think we're at just over 5 million views or listeners per month.
Yeah.
Digitally. And that definitely comes from outside of, or should I say, not just in Chicago, you know,
All across the nation.
It's all across the nation. But I love her thought process. It's just that we need to widen it a little bit more because Chicago's very segregated, and sometimes being from a town that's very segregated, you think that way. You feel like everything should be in a compartment, and it's not compartmentalized, and that's why things that we do don't necessarily work. You know, I dropped out of beauty school. Yes, no surprise here, because I don't like doing hair. I didn't like doing hair. I thought because I had babies, I needed to make some quick money, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to beauty school. Ended up going to college. I couldn't do the hair. But when I went to beauty school, I remember her saying that if you graduate from here and you only do hair in your basement, you won't know how to do it any other way because you'll be the only one doing it. But if you go into a salon and you're surrounded by other hair technicians, as they said back then you will get ideas from other people. So I collectively own that. I can't be in one place, which is why when I had to work from home in my last IT job, it's very limited. You can literally your vocabulary can be impeded. Your responsive, or should I say your the weight of the world is on you a little bit more, because if you wake up and you roll into your workspace and the sun is up and it goes right back down, you feel like you've accomplished nothing, not enough. So I really want to speak to whomever might feel that way and say, we got to do something different, and we may have to get it from somewhere else.
Absolutely. We've got the mayor of Baltimore that has lowered crime by half.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, how they do it.
Right. Are there not lessons to, and again, Baltimore is an urban city, much like Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. Not identical, but we have sister cities. We have a great relationship with WURD. We have conversations with them out in Philadelphia all the time about our shared issues.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Tony Snow's comment. He said, Eddie nailed it. LOL. I will say this. Chicago has better pizza.
I agree.
Yeah,
let's circle back to the truth.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So guys, tomorrow we've got a great and fantastic show lined up. We do thank you for, hold on, I ain't done.
Okay.
We do thank you for hanging out with us today here on the afternoon show. We got Rufus tomorrow. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's like, we got Rufus tomorrow.
we got
Rufus every morning.
We got Cleopatra tomorrow. We've got Matt McGill tomorrow, and we've got the afternoon show.
Yeah, but what are we talking about?
Whatever it is, it's going to be great.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I ain't thinking about you.
But you know, to that point, I really do want to hear from our listeners. Don't be afraid to send an email, because I want to hear what you guys want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, you call in, you say, oh gosh, everybody's always, but I want to hear what you expect to hear. Let's get some ideas. See, you got to go outside of the station. Find out what the listeners want to hear and want to talk about. and it can be definitely considered. We'll do some research and come back with it, bring it on as a topic or a segment.
That's it. Guys, we're all set. We're going to get out of here, but we do want you to have a great night. Keep your fingers crossed for some warmer weather. We know it is around the corner. And what do you have to say?
I have to say, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm LaDonna Ray. Bye-bye for now.